So it literally snowed here yesterday, but it is technically still fall. So I wanted to recreate this fall look that I found on Pinterest, and I'm gonna do it using all affordable drugstore products. Let's go. So today I wanted to do a really fall look, and I was thinking like a typical pumpkin spice type of thing, but I was on Pinterest and I saw this look by Alyssa Janae, and it's really like plum and this chartreuse color, and I was like, that's so fall, and I haven't tried a bolder look like that. So that's what we're gonna try and do today. But first let's zoom in on the eyes, because I think we gotta start there, because if it all goes south, we can redo. So I practiced this look yesterday, and I'm really glad I did, because I would have had like a meltdown. It was so much harder than I thought. Like the little inner corner thing, I don't know how she does it so effortlessly. But now I'm feeling more confident. Yesterday I used this shade Droid Protocol from the Baby Yoda palette, but I think it was a little too just like straight up brown. It looks more burgundy-ish in the pan, but this one from the Karuchi palette, Chalk, I think that one is more of what I'm aiming for, so let's do that one today. So I'm taking the tiniest brush that I can find to start the wing, the outer wing. That's going to be our base, our foundation. It's also kind of tricky doing this with more hooded eyes. She has like a little bit more lid space than me. Okay. Okay, this is definitely more of the color that I was going for. I'm going to use a little bit of Droid Protocol just to like deepen up that line, but I think the blend is like right there. I think we're starting off really good. And she kind of brings this outer wing underneath a bit to connect it, which is always a struggle for me because I feel like for some reason my eyes just don't want to do that. They're like, we are two separate entities. I don't know, maybe it's just I haven't done it that often, so I feel like weird when I do it. I'm like, that doesn't look right. Oh, it looks totally fine. Okay, I'm just gonna repeat it on this eye, and then we're gonna start kind of smoking things out a little bit. That side was way harder. Okay, nice. Now let's do a little smokiness. I think I might take maybe just one of the other browns in here and kind of mix it together with the red so that it's not quite so one note. Let's see what that does. Sweet. All right, next is adding the green, which is really the star of this eye look. And I'm using the shade Green Juice from Colourpop. It's so pretty. I love just putting this all over my lid, but incorporating it with other colors is just like something I haven't tried because I've been afraid of like, oh, what color really goes with it? So it's nice to have an example to work off of and just try and recreate and learn more about color theory and all of that. Oh, I totally forgot to put on eye primer. I'm just gonna, I don't know, I think we still have time. There's a bunch of room up here. So let's slap some on. And I don't have a drugstore eye primer anymore. This is the About Face one. This is like my second time using it, so I will let you know how I like it. I was using the Milani one, but it was making my eyes really dry. I already have dry eyelids, so anything that's overly like mattifying just feels very uncomfy. I think real quick, I just want to put a little brown in the crease, like as if it's bronzer or something. So I'm gonna use this Jamocha shade. One thing I've noticed from my first time using this primer is that I used to think that shadows just like didn't show up on my eyelids, like they just weren't pigmented. And now I'm seeing the shadows showing up, so it's like maybe it just needed that primer to grip onto. Because I've been going primerless for a while and I didn't think it would make that much of a difference, but I don't know, I'm liking this new world of eyeshadow. I'm feeling like it'll make me more excited to try new eyeshadow looks now that they will actually show up on my eyes. And today I have some coffee in my little ghost mug. Okay, back to green juice. Now that we're all primed, I'm just gonna take my finger and kind of put it in the middle, and then I'll use a brush for the finer details. Fabulous. All right, it's like a little messy right now, but we're gonna clean that all up. I'm just so happy with this color. I feel like it really does look nice with red. I didn't expect that. So the third part of this eyeshadow look is like a little definition right here that pulls out and almost makes like a double wing with the one that we've already placed down. So last night I used the same really tiny brush to just lay down the legwork, and then I used a little bit of a thicker brush to kind of blend that out. So let's give it a go. I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting. Okay, it's not terrible. I'm just gonna keep moving. Okay, I've gotten a little chunkier than I wanted. All right, now I'm just gonna take a blending brush with that same Jamocha shade, that kind of like tan bronzery shade for me, and just kind of hope that buffs out the little bit of mess I've made. Okay, I'm liking it more. Let's re-add in that chartreuse shade into this little space that we've made. And this time I'm gonna pick it up. Actually, first I'm gonna spray it with setting spray. This is the Milani Make It Last. And I'll put that on a shader brush and just dip in here a little bit. And now let's plug the gap. And I'll just put whatever's left on my lid because that setting spray just makes it a more intense shine. I love that effect of it going between these two lines that we've made. That's really pretty. Absolutely amazing. Could not have asked for that to have gone any better. I think I'm going to finish up the eyes after I do the rest of my base. So now let's get that started. I guess we should zoom out, yeah? Alright, I'm going to start with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I've been using this more these days. Like, I kind of go through phases with this because sometimes I just don't even bother wearing a primer. But I've been liking this just on my cheeks, like the areas where my pores are a little bigger. And I've started realizing that like if I just tap it in instead of spreading it like butter, then it's actually really like, it's basically like you're spackling, you know, it's filling those holes. And if you let it set for a little bit before you put on the rest of your makeup, then you're giving it a fighting shot of keeping that blurring effect. Amazing. I think while I let that kind of sit for a little bit, I'm just gonna quickly run some brow gel through my brows. I'm using this NYX brow glue, and I got the shade medium brown because I had seen an influencer who had also dyed her hair red. She said she switched to using this instead of dyeing her brows, and it made a difference. It doesn't make a difference for mine. I guess my brows are just like black, so nothing's really gonna change that, but I figure I might as well use it. And I think it's a fine brow gel. I had the clear one actually, and I didn't like it because after a while the clear just became like really goopy and then it would dry like white and it looks like you have crust in your brows. But because this is tinted, it doesn't do that, so I guess that's one good thing about it. The hold isn't crazy, but it's perfectly fine for day to day. This is just a nice average brow gel. Okay, I think that's had enough time to set, so I'm gonna go in with my like base product of the day, and this is gonna be the e.l.f. Halo Glow in the shade 5 medium/tan. I haven't used this in a while because in the summer it just felt like way too thick on my skin and I did not want to deal with that. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand. I hate that sound. And I'm just gonna pick some up on my brush and then apply it. I feel like this is better for getting an even application that isn't like too thick in certain areas, but it does take a little bit more work. You know, you gotta put it on your hand and then on the brush. You can't just swipe it on your face. Also, is that good to just be swiping it on your face? I don't know how much we care about our own bacteria, but food for thought, I guess. I like it so much more applied this way. It just gives such a nice healthy glow. Sometimes it can get a little Tin Man-y or like ultra reflective in places and it looks a little bit more unnatural, but this is just nice, super healthy, super lovely. I know they just added more shades to their range, so if you were looking to try a glow boosty product, I would definitely check that out. For bronzer, I'm going to use my e.l.f. Putty bronzers, and I've got 2 shades. I'm going to use the deeper one to do a little bit of contouring. She's not looking super snatched in this. It's really her blush that is doing the snatching rather than a contour. But I just want to add a little bit because the other bronzer color that I have is like very, very close to my skin tone. And now going in with the lighter shade. I feel like these bronzers aren't very showy. I know people were talking about when they first came out, but I don't know if anyone still really hypes them up online, but I really like them. I feel like they're very dependable. They're great for travel because they're so small. And you don't have to set them because they kind of just dry down to a matte finish. Are they the most exciting bronzer in my collection? No. But I don't know, what makes an exciting bronzer? I guess that Makeup by Mario one that's like putty. She's got quite a bit of forehead bronzer, so I hope I did that justice. Next, I'm gonna do some concealing with the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. And I really like mixing this with other concealers. I've never really used it on its own, but it is the only drugstore concealer I have because I decluttered my NYX serum concealers. Just another PSA. I didn't know they only last 6 months. That seems so short for a concealer. If you want to see more stuff that I got rid of, you can check out my decluttering video. I had no idea it was going to be so long. It's like 55 minutes, but I like having those on in the background while I like do other stuff or do like mindless tasks at work. Like if I just need to reorganize things. Perfect for background noise. And it's like someone keeping you company. Oh, that's totally nice on its own. You know, it makes sense because it's kind of like a dupe for that YSL Touche Éclat concealer, and people wear that on its own. It's very highlighting, brightening. I'll even put some down here. To set that, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Prime and Stay Finishing Powder. This is super duper mattifying, so I just use a tiny bit. Like, I wouldn't use this anywhere else besides just a little tap on the inner corner to make sure that doesn't crease. Fabulous. All right, I'm gonna deepen up my lower lash line because hers is pretty intense. When I did it last night, I did it way too thick though, and it was giving like, I don't know, sexy raccoon. But I'm gonna be a little bit more controlled this time. And this inner part, like darkening it, seems really important because of how she has that really sharp line there, that little V. Otherwise it would just be coming out of nowhere, I guess, and be a bit more random looking. So I never really go that dark on my inner corner, but you know, it's fun to try new things. Sometimes it works, sometimes we look like a raccoon. Cute. And then before I attempt the V, because I'm procrastinating on it so hard because it was so difficult, I'm just gonna go back over that chartreuse a bit that has kind of covered up the red liner. How rude. I'm so excited. I'm not even done it. I'm just so proud of myself for like trying this because even though I know I can just do the one and done shadows and be totally happy and feel so pretty, it's just nice to like see something on someone else and be like, oh, I wish I could pull that off. And it's like, well, what's stopping you from trying? Okay, enough vamping. Let's do the inner V. For this part, I think I'm gonna use kind of a gel liner. This is by Pixi, and I'm just gonna use it to kind of set down that shape, and then I'll go over it with the powder because I don't want that inner liner to move around a bit, and I don't know how secure just straight up powder is, so I'm not gonna risk it. Okay, are you seeing that? That looks official. Before I get too big in the head, let's do the other side. Jesus. I'm so happy. This is so fun. Okay, that was a great idea. I feel like I had a lot more control with this gel, and this laid down so nicely. I should use that pencil more often. All right, now going in with chalk, that burgundy shade, and just gonna go right on top of it, set that cream, and add a little bit more red. Now I want to add just like a little bit more definition. I just feel like it kind of looks patchy, the top part, and it's just not sitting right with my soul. So this could just mess it up more, but I just went over that area that was looking a little patchy to me with a lighter shade, Chai, from this palette, and I thought that would help kind of like blend it out, kind of cover up my my flaws. I don't really know if it did anything, but I kind of just want to move on, you know? It's not supposed to be perfect. We're trying something completely new. So, eyes done. Actually, hold up. This isn't even in the look, but I had this olive green eyeliner and I was like, how can I not use it? So I'm gonna use this. It's from NYX and it's called All Time Olive. I don't know what that is. That supposed to be a play on something? I don't know. I'm gonna use it in my waterline now. Very exciting. It's so subtle, but I think it just adds a little something. All right, now let's finish up the face. For highlighter, I'm gonna use the Maybelline Master Chrome in Molten Gold. And as you can see, mine is quite old, completely fallen apart. But I just did my declutter, and so I rediscovered it, and I was like, this is an amazing formula. And even after all these years, the one that I have is still kicking. So I'm just gonna kind of swirl that in on my cheekbones and add a little bit above my, or I guess below my brow. Oh, whoa. Sorry. From the angle in my mirror, it didn't look like it was doing anything, so I just kept buffing, and then I turned and it was like, you know how highlighters go. Yeah, that's just still a really good highlighter. I can't believe it's at the drugstore. All right, for blushes, I'm doing a little concoction. Yesterday, I used one of the orange shades from the e.l.f. Pumpkin Pie palette, but I think today I'm gonna use this orange shade from the Brown Sugar palette and mix it with this NYX Sweet Cheeks. This is in Summer Breeze. This is more coral, and then the shade Amber is more, that's just straight up orange. So let's do a little mixology. I totally forget that you can use powder eyeshadows as powder blushes. Like, why not? It just is very messy. I hate to do like an over-the-top reaction face, but sometimes when I experiment with makeup, it just goes so wrong, and to be trying stuff out on the fly and it to go right, it's just like, it feels so good. If you haven't played with your makeup collection, I highly recommend just finding a picture on Pinterest or scrolling TikTok for, well, no, that's gonna take up a whole chunk of your day. Don't just mindlessly scroll TikTok, but definitely look on Pinterest, like fall makeup. And now they can even, they even have a filter by like skin tone, so you can see like fall makeup and look at it on, if you have a deeper skin tone, see it on people with your similar skin tone, so you have a better idea of like what colors and stuff will work. I think that's a really cool feature that they added. Okay, her blush is like super orange though, so I'm gonna keep going. And I'm like that I'm using this angled cheek brush. I just got it from e.l.f. for powder blushes, but I think this shape just helps you kind of chisel out more, which is definitely the vibe of her look and all of her looks. She's so beautiful. I think we're nailing it. I'm just gonna put a bit more on my nose, on my chin. Okay, more pigmented than I expected. Okay, I'm just gonna spray with the Milani setting spray that we used earlier so I can do my lips and put on mascara, because I don't like spraying after I've done mascara. Oh, this is how I protect my hair from setting spray. If I spray after I put on mascara, it just makes them feel really gummy and like they're all sticking together. My lashes, that is. Oh, I totally forgot to set before that. I'll set now. I'm using the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder in medium beige. I really like this formula. It's very glowy, and because I have dry skin, I don't really like setting powders that are super mattifying or drying. Like, I'm not making that much oil. I need to still look radiant, and this really helps with that. My only qualm with it is that the color isn't my favorite. Like, I can't go too heavy-handed with it, otherwise I'm gonna look ashy. Nice. Okay, let's do mascara. I got this e.l.f. Lash and Roll mascara. I heard such good things about this formula, and it is pretty lengthening. I got the deep brown one, and this one is actually like a brown. It's not like a basically black brown, but my thing with this formula is that it is so hard to get off, and I have no idea why. I've even tried doing micellar water followed by oil cleansing, and it still feels like there's mascara on my eyelids. So now I don't really reach for it, but I thought this would be really cute for a fall look, and I'll just suffer. See, like, if you can see the difference between the lashes. It makes my lashes look so long and fluttery. I really like it, but I don't know, maybe I'll try something. I'll let it sit in the cleansing oil a little longer maybe. It will make me have very blurry eyes, but if it gets the job done, I think it might be worth it. And for lips, she has this like kind of rosy chocolate look where like the liner has more of a chocolate depth, but then the gloss that she's wearing is very rosy. So I think I'm going to use two liners. Both are Milani. One is more of a caramel color, and then one is more of a rose, and I think mixed together they'll get me to where I'm going. We'll start with that caramel color, and this is in Saucy Toffee, I believe. Nailed it. I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to lip liner. I kind of just hope for the best. And now I'm using that rose color to fill in my lips a bit more so that I can just put that gloss on top and it'll have that true rose tone underneath. Alright, and last step, I'm using Praline from NYX. This is their Butter Gloss formula, and this is my favorite shade of theirs. I have one in my makeup little drawer, and then I have one in my purse, and there's probably another one floating around my house somewhere. Ooh, I think we did really good. Okay, let me try and pose like her. Oh, let me take out the clips. Okay, how'd we do? I think we did pretty good. I am so happy with how this look turned out. I was really nervous. Obviously, I had to practice beforehand, but this version is my best one yet, and I'm just so glad I tried something new, and I hope maybe it inspired you to use some inspiration picks and try something out of your comfort zone. So if you want to see another makeup look that I did for fall, I did this wedding guest makeup look. It's very bronzy, so I'll link that here. And my name is Gianna. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, subscribe and like this video. It helps me out a lot, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!